The winds sweeping across Balmoral Castle have always carried a sense of mystery, a quiet echo of royal history that feels almost untouched by time. But recently, those winds seem to be carrying something else, something heavier, something shifting beneath the surface of tradition. Because behind the stone walls of this iconic estate, a new chapter is quietly unfolding, one that places Princess Anne firmly at the center of attention in a way few could have predicted. Yet somehow, it feels inevitable. For decades, Anne has been known as the steady force within the royal family, the one who never chased headlines but earned respect through relentless duty. And now, as discussions surrounding Balmoral's long-term future have taken shape, her name has emerged not as a surprise, but as a statement. It didn't happen with a grand announcement or dramatic reveal. There were no official speeches or public ceremonies marking the moment. Instead, it came quietly, through internal decisions and trusted circles, where influence matters more than attention. Those familiar with royal operations suggest that Anne has taken on a defining role connected to the stewardship and direction of Balmoral, a move that reflects not only trust, but a deep understanding of royal legacy. Because Balmoral is not just another residence, it is a symbol, a sanctuary, and perhaps most importantly, a deeply personal piece of royal identity once cherished by Queen Elizabeth II. And anyone entrusted with its future must embody a rare combination of loyalty, discipline, and discretion, qualities Anne has demonstrated her entire life. But as with any shift in royal dynamics, not all reactions have been entirely calm. Behind the scenes, there are whispers, subtle, unconfirmed, but persistent. And at the heart of these whispers are connections linked to Camilla. While no official tension has been acknowledged, royal observers have noted that expectations within extended circles may not have aligned with the direction that was ultimately taken. In families as layered and historically rooted as the monarchy, even quiet decisions can create ripples that travel far beyond what the public ever sees. And in this case, the ripple seems to carry a clear message. When it comes to something as significant as Balmoral, tradition and proven dedication outweigh all else. What makes this development particularly compelling is how perfectly it aligns with Anne's character. She has never been one to seek power, yet she consistently finds herself trusted with it. While others navigate public perception, Anne operates with a level of consistency that rarely draws controversy, but always earns credibility. It's this very nature that likely made her the natural choice when the future of Balmoral came into focus. Because protecting something so deeply tied to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II requires more than just a title. It demands a mindset rooted in service rather than status. At the same time, this moment unfolds under the reign of King Charles III, a period already defined by transition and modernization. Every decision now carries additional weight, as it not only reflects the present, but shapes the monarchy's future direction. By placing trust in Anne, the message appears clear. Stability and continuity remain at the core of royal priorities, even as the institution evolves. It's a balancing act between honoring tradition and adapting to a changing world. And in many ways, Anne represents that balance better than anyone else. Meanwhile, those watching closely have started to pick up on subtle shifts. Nothing overt or dramatic, but small details that hint at changing dynamics. Appearances, positioning, interactions. These are the silent signals through which royal stories often unfold. And while the public may never hear direct confirmations, the patterns are enough to spark curiosity and conversation. Because in the royal world, what isn't said often speaks louder than what is. Still, Anne herself remains unchanged. There have been no public comments, no attempts to control the narrative, no visible reaction to the growing attention. She continues her duties as she always has, focused, disciplined, and entirely unbothered by speculation. And perhaps that's what makes this story so compelling. In an era where attention often defines influence, Anne proves the opposite, that true authority doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists, steady and undeniable. Balmoral, too, remains as it always has, quiet, majestic, and deeply symbolic. But beneath its stillness, a new layer of meaning is beginning to take shape. Because this isn't just about who holds responsibility today, it's about what that responsibility represents for the future. It's about continuity, trust, and the preservation of something that transcends generations. And in many ways, it's about ensuring that the essence of Balmoral remains untouched, even as everything around it continues to change. As the story continues to unfold, one question lingers in the air. Is this simply a practical step in managing a historic estate, or does it signal something deeper within the royal structure? Because history has shown time and again that the most significant shifts in the monarchy rarely arrive with noise. They happen quietly, behind closed doors, carried on decisions that may seem small in the moment, but echo for years to come. And perhaps that's exactly what we're witnessing now. Not a dramatic transformation, but a subtle realignment, one that places trust and experience over expectation and duty over influence. With Princess Anne at the center of it, Balmoral's future feels less like a question and more like a continuation of everything it has always stood for. Because in the end, the true power of the royal family has never been about titles or headlines. It's about legacy. And legacy is something Anne has been quietly protecting all along.